Hi, I am Melissa Laney, and I'm the director of the Indiana Clean Lakes Program. The Clean Lakes Program is sponsored by the Indiana Department of Environmental Management, or IDEM, and we administer it here at Indiana University at the School of Public and Environmental Affairs. We have been conducting this program since 1989, and it has been sampling the state's surface public freshwater bodies, our public lakes and reservoirs. Since that, every summer we're out all over the state sampling, and that allows us to report to the state, and then the state is able to then look at trends and status of those water bodies. The one thing that's really great about the Clean Lakes Program and it being housed here with SPEA is it provides some amazing internship opportunities and kind of set up like an apprenticeship. So we have graduate students that train with us and then help us implement the program every summer, and sometimes we have those as an intern that would maybe return for a second summer, but each summer we get a whole new crew, which is really great for them and great for the state. When we get out on the lakes, we have a list of parameters that we're going to be sampling for that help us describe the lake. So we're looking for all of the ecosystem parameters. We want biological parameters and chemical parameters, physical parameters, and every time they go out to each lake, they're going to sample for all of those, and then we can put all of that information together into certain metrics, and that helps us classify those lakes, and that helps the state then say this is how the waters of Indiana are. Each of these Clean Lakes Program scientists, they look for each of these different parameters, and they use different equipment. Some stuff we can measure immediately in the field, some stuff we have to collect in different bottles, some have preservation involved, some require filtering, and then after that we would return to the laboratory for further analysis. You'll see there's a SPEA disc, which is the most basic and simple limnological tool. It's the white and black disc, and we lower that into the water to look for water clarity or transparency. It's really a simple tool that's also perfect for citizen scientists to participate in. So we're looking for that. We also fill bottles to collect for pH, alkalinity, our nutrients, which are a big part of what will then fuel the growth of lakes. We're looking at things such as total phosphorus and total nitrogen and what's also already in solution. Every sample follows its own protocol. So as I mentioned, some things we can just fill a bottle that's preserved in the field and then we take it back to the lab, or some things we need to filter in the field to get any of the particles out, and then we can then sample and process those then filtered samples. Some of our parameters that we can do a full profile from the surface all the way to the deepest part of the lake, and we can use our different SONs, or a different computer, basically to collect information as we lower the probe into the water for temperature, dissolved oxygen, conductivity, pH. We also have a separate meter that collects light information, so we can see how much light is and how far down available light is for the microscopic plants, the algae. Some of the living organisms we collect are plankton, so we look at microscopic plants and little microscopic animals. We also collect chlorophyll, which is a pigment or the color in those microscopic plants, and then we filter that in the field and we process that in the lab, and that gives us an indication of what the density of the phytoplankton or the algae is in the lake. So those together give us a better understanding of the living ecosystem, not just giving us set parameters of chemical concentration. We take all of that back to the laboratory in SPEA and analyze all those samples. So ultimately, the Indiana Clean Lakes Program helps the state meet their monitoring requirements, but it also engages with the public, and it allows for a lot of outreach and education for the general public. But then we have our citizen scientists that are part of our team, and they volunteer their time to sample lakes that they often live on, and we gather up and compile all that data and allow us to report to the state, which they pass that on to the EPA, but they also make that all publicly available so that anyone can go onto the website and look up a particular lake and see the data and there's information of how to interpret that data, but you can also contact us for help with that, and it ultimately helps us encourage good lake stewardship and encourage more of that, and to get people involved in the water resources we love to play and recreate and enjoy so much.